Thank you. Are there further remarks? Representative Corry.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going to urge a no vote today for a couple reasons, and I'll try to elaborate and not go over what my other colleagues have said. I have a real concern here because we're taking something that I think a lot of us agree with, which is the idea of healthy relationships and consent, and attaching it to some other stuff that people have some real concerns about. And so while we have other laws to address some of these healthy relationship pieces that I think a majority of us would support, we're tying it to something that clearly has a lot of problems that have not been worked out yet or resolved. I've heard comments about, we're listening to students, but why aren't we listening to parents? Parents are ultimately responsible for these children. They are children. I understand some of them are engaging in activities that you or I may not have, or we wouldn't want them to, but that doesn't take away a parent's rights to monitor and know what their kids are doing. And I understand we have some additional parental control options in here, and I'm thankful for that. But I don't think it goes far enough. I'm concerned that in some of this stuff, we are normalizing and sexualizing kids at a much too young of an age when they are dealing with a myriad of other issues. And we're going to be putting this on top of that. I mean, obviously, I've read some of the exact curriculum from Seattle, and I understand that that's not something that every county or school district is going to adopt. But as we look at maintaining standards, I worry about what wiggle room, if you want to call it, school districts will have in adopting a curriculum that meets a statewide standard. Again, parents' rights should come first for these youth. The parents are legally responsible for them for every aspect of their well-being, and I think this is part of it. To that point, we had a work group that listened to parents across the state, and a majority of them said, we don't believe in K-12's comprehensive sex ed. They didn't say all sex ed, but they were concerned about the early years for these children. And that's where you're seeing a lot of concern on our side for them. It's not that we're against age-appropriate sex ed. I've had different groups in my office, whether it was Planned Parenthood or family groups, and I've been very consistent. I'm not opposed to age-appropriate sex education, but this is going way too far, in my opinion. The last piece I will mention is I think this is going to hurt schools. You're going to see major divisions across school districts. I also think you're going to see a lot of parents pulling their kids completely out of the public education system because of this. And that concerns me because we have obviously a lot of teachers that work in those districts. We have a lot of students there as well. And I'm worried what kind of effect that's going to happen when those dollars come out of the public schools. What happens then? Lastly, I think one of the things I will say is that, we can do better here. I think that if we were to slow this down and actually go back and look at what the parents want and recraft this to address what we currently have, we could get to a yes on this. But unfortunately, I don't see that happening today. And I'm not sure that, that we're willing to sit down and really go through the details on this. So I would urge a no. Thank you.